Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Last time I was talking about the sanguine temperament and some of you couldn't relate to that because you're perhaps the opposite of the sanguine. And today I am back with another video of the temperaments, the melancholy. Okay. Do you know those type of people that are so detail oriented? Like when you're thinking about something or when you're seeing something, they see behind the surface. They are thinkers, like deep thinkers. These are the kinds of people I'm talking about. When you enter their room, the white shoes are on a different row, the black ones on a different shelf, and the blue ones are on a different shelf. When you open their closet, there's this guy on WeChat, the Chinese app that we have here. He is so melancholy that he'll be spreading his bed to make sure there is no crease. He'll be steaming everything. Everything is like on point. He'll be arranging the perfumes and whatever in his room like crazy, guys, like perfectly. So melancholies as perfectionists, and this could be a disadvantage, of course, because sometimes they set unrealistic expectations for others and for themselves. This life is never perfect. So for you to be a perfectionist, boy, oh boy, it's just so hard to maintain that. But you know, those are just melancholies for you. Another thing that we have to talk about before we dive deep into the melancholic temperament, I said earlier, if you didn't watch the first video about the sanguine, please go and watch it, because I give a brief overview of the four temperaments, which are the choleric, the sanguine, the phlegmatic, and the talked about of today, the melancholy. Okay, these are the four basic temperaments. It doesn't mean that you just have one and that's it. You could have a mixture of choleric and phlegmatic and melancholy. You have a primary temperament and a secondary temperament, so it could be 75-25% depending on what we're talking about, because you might realize later on, as we will continue to discuss about these temperaments, that even the experiences that you have in life, they can lead you to express more of the weaknesses or the negative part of a temperament than the other. All right. So in general sense, the melancholies are the detail oriented guys. Usually they are into art because they pay attention to detail, and they are analytical. As you might have guessed, they are loners. Artists, they like to be alone. They like to focus. They like to do their thing by themselves. So they are natural introverts. So unlike the sanguines and the cholerics, who are usually extroverts, the melancholies and the phlegmatics are usually the introverts. All right. One thing to know about the melancholies is like they are prone to depression and mood swings and all that gloomy atmosphere around them, because sometimes when life happens, they tend to overthink even the things that are not so deep. They will be thinking about them, and they magnify everything in their mind, that obviously it's easy to fall into depression. And because they're usually alone and they like isolation, definitely depression can come in anytime. And the good thing about the melancholies is they are very loyal, like very loyal people. If you have a melancholy as a friend or a partner, they are going to stick with you through thick and thin. They are very good listeners. And as a side effect, of course, they are good advisors. They actually pay attention when you talk to them, unlike another temperament that we talk about. The sanguines can listen, but not as deeply as the melancholy. So most of the melancholies are empaths in the sense that they can feel your pain. If you try and describe what you're going through to them, it's like they can feel it deep within their soul because they are just soulish people. They are understanding. So you realize that because of the analytical nature of the melancholy, they are usually into jobs that have to do with details. Like I said earlier, they are into arts, into music, painting, or even science, because as a scientist, you need to pay attention to detail. You need to be very, very patient as well. So those are the kinds of careers that most melancholists venture into, even like doctors and stuff like that. Sometimes they can even be self-sacrificing, which means that they can give up their life for the betterment of others, for the betterment of their family, for the betterment of the society. They can sacrifice themselves. And if you have heard of martyrs, I don't know if that is the correct way to pronounce it, but the Christian martyrs who died before, most likely than not, they were melancholists, because the melancholies are self-sacrificing. The melancholies are very romantic. If you have a melancholy as a partner, you are so blessed, because first and foremost, they are good listeners, and they're always paying attention to detail. So you can just imagine, if you tell them that you need something, they are always going to listen and make it happen for you. You understand? So it's very easy for a melancholic girlfriend or boyfriend to be romantic, because they also find pleasure in doing that. One of the weaknesses of the melancholy is low self-esteem and confidence, because they have self-criticism. Like I was saying earlier on, they overthink. Like they overthink so much, such that they begin to question themselves and their identity, and therefore it can lead to loss of esteem and low confidence. Another thing that you should know about melancholies is they are very picky. Oh my God. They are very picky when it comes to food, even music, their friends, the type of dressing. Like they are very picky. They just don't go with anything. They are very sophisticated like that. Even in the way of dressing, you'll see that this is quality, huh? And they might not be flashy like the sanguine. They might not be out there and all that, but they are very, very strict when it comes to their diet. If they are into health and fitness, oh my God, they have a schedule of when they are going to work out, what they're going to do. They have a plan for their diet. They are very strict, and this could be a disadvantage. Let's say you're a family man and your kids are not like you. Let me not say a family man, even a woman. These are the kinds of people that when they are sad, the whole house is sad. Those type of people that you don't move, you don't cough like this, because they'll be looking at you like, why are you happy when I'm sad? You know what I'm saying? And also they can set very high expectations. And so they are very hard to please, because like I said, they are perfectionists. So if your leader or your supervisor is a melancholy, you're going to have a hard time, because they want everything to be so perfect. And there are certain people from a certain country, those people, they are so melancholic by nature, like all of them, because they never break rules. Like they never break rules. Meanwhile, when the song is saying, oh, rules are meant to be broken, let's have fun, let's party, life you only live once, this and the other, the melancholy, on the other hand, is a strict rules follower. Okay, so if you have someone maybe who is working in a certain company or industry, and you want them to bend the rules, not break, just bending, they won't do that. They won't do that. They will never, because they are perfectionists. They believe like there's either right or wrong, there's no in between. I mean, like, they can never bend the rules. So if you have a father or a mother like that, you're gonna have a hard time because they are so strict. And yeah, this could be a very big disadvantage because obviously people are always going to break rules and it can frustrate you. And I can also say that even in relationships, they set high expectations for their partner. So it's very hard to please them. You try to do A, B, C, but it doesn't seem to like satisfy them. And sometimes it's very hard for them um, to delegate some work because they want things to be done in a certain way. And so if you do something and you come back with feedback to them, or you show them your work, they are not going to be satisfied so easily. They'll say, go back, you can do it better. You know, those kinds of people. So they're very hard to please. One downside about the melancholies is that they usually have a negative reaction towards anything. Like, they usually jump into the negative conclusion of things. So if something goes wrong, it's like a total mess for them. Imagine you have a perfectionistic mindset. You're very meticulous in your doings, and then something just goes sideways. Like, it's gonna drive you crazy like that. You understand? So the last thing I would say about the melancholies, I didn't want to finish on a downside note, but let me just say it's very hard for them to forgive, so they hold grudges. Yeah, and some research has found out that some of them can even die earlier because, you know, they have hypertension, stress, and all of those things. So if you're melancholy listening to this video, or watching this video rather, please take it easy. All right, take it easy. What I learned recently is that whatever reality you perceive is because of your mindset. So you could have half a glass of water, the melancholy will see half empty glass, but a sanguine will see a half full glass. So you just have to shift your mindset, because unlike the things that you cannot change about yourself, the good thing is that you can adjust your temperament. All right. And so you realize that even through life experiences, you would express more of the strengths of the melancholy and even more of the secondary temperament, whether it's choleric, phlegmatic, or sanguine that you might have. And you become a healthy individual. All right. This is not to say you should despise the melancholic temperament. No, you should embrace it because there are advantages to it. Like, most melancholies are super intelligent. Like, most of the scientists who have discovered 1, 2, 3 things, most of the discoveries, right, that have been done, it was the melancholies that discovered them, because I mean, they are into detail, they are analytical, they want to explore and see what is going on. They are deep thinkers. So obviously it makes a lot of sense. And one other thing that I forgot to mention is melancholies are very frugal. They are very wise spenders of money. So unlike the sanguines who are always squandering the money, the melancholies are very frugal, and by so doing, they make themselves rich. So it's very, very common again to see melancholies who are rich. If you are a sanguine, you're likely going to be attracted to a melancholic, and vice versa, because opposites attract, right? So yeah, that is basically it for the melancholies. If you still haven't found your temperaments amongst these two, it means you could be a choleric or a phlegmatic, and I'm gonna come back with those videos ASAP. So stay tuned and wait on. You guys, if you haven't watched the previous video that I posted, please go ahead and watch it. They're waiting for you. Okay, please guys, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you have just started watching it today, and hit the like button, share it with your friends and family. And other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.